Hello, everybody. I am Mel Barrett, and welcome to Something's Off, a true crime podcast where we break down cases and trials where we feel like something's not quite right to us. Right now, we just finished with the Corey Richards trial. We are now moving into the KELSEY FITZSIMMONS trial, which we've covered sporadically on the channel before. Rebecca is not with me today. She is swamped with work, but she will be back tomorrow where we will recap what we're talking about today, as well as talking about the Afro Man trial. So I am super excited about tomorrow's episode. We'll be on at 9 a.m. But for today, we're going to go into a pretty big, deep divey sort of recap about the KELSEY FITZSIMMONS trial case and the sort of chain of events that got us to this place. And some pretty big news was made today in the hearing, the last pre-trial hearing before the trial starts on Monday. So we're going to get into it right after a quick break. Hello, lovelies. I'm so glad you're here on this Wednesday hump day. Hi, Amanda. Everyone say thanks to Amanda for doing our chapters for us. It's supremely helpful to me, and I appreciate her. So show your love and support for Amanda, super planner girl Amanda. She is in the chat, and we love her and are so thankful for her. Hi, everybody else. As I said, Rebecca's not with me today. Sadly, she really wanted to be here. And unfortunately, Rebecca's not really going to be with us for much of the KELSEY FITZSIMMONS trial because she's going to be on vacation. So it's just going to be you and me, and I'm considering actually streaming the trial. So covering it gavel to gavel. It's only going to be a few days based on what happened today in the pretrial hearing. So let me know if you would be interested in me sitting through the entire trial and talking it out with y'all. I'm not a lawyer, obviously, you guys know that. But I like to play one on TV. Oh, thanks for gifting a membership, Strains Credulity. I love it. Thank you so much. Speaking of that, let me get some housekeeping out of the way. I think we're at 44,250 subscribers, which is amazing. We're trying to reach that goal of 5,000. You all have helped us so much, but if you could just do me a favor, go like this video, subscribe, share, comment. It helps us so much. And it seems like I've been hearing from a lot of other creators lately that the algorithm is a little bit off right now. I've been noticing it. Our numbers are diving for some reason. Maybe it's because I have opinions that everybody hates. I don't know. Who knows? But our numbers aren't great right now. And I think that's just because this algorithm, I'm hoping it's just the algorithm thing. They've really switched it up. What I'm hearing from creators like Melanie Little, and I think maybe Lawyer, mentioned something about this. YouTube is really pushing the shorts on YouTube. And I don't know if you're like me, I don't watch a lot of the shorts. I post a lot of shorts from our content, but I don't really watch a lot of shorts. And the reason that they push those shorts is because because creators only make a penny off of every time someone watches or they get to a certain number on the shorts. Creators make a lot more money on these longer form videos, which is what we do here. So, we're getting lost, I think, in the algorithm and all the shorts. Did I just see? Hold on a second. I got to go back here. Broken Baker. Hello, lovely. Sir, the work that you've been doing on this KELSEY FITZSIMMONS case, we appreciate you. We love what you do. Thanks for bringing your comedy and your snark and your fiery opinions. I absolutely love you. We're going to go through some of the voicemails that were left by Justin Alayan. I'm going to call him Alayan. I know a lot of people call him Alien. He doesn't like that, but I finally got it in my brain. Finally got it to click that that's how you say his last name. So I have to do that now. But anyway, back to the algorithm, the almighty algorithm. What you guys are doing is helping us so much. If you're not a member of the channel, please consider it. We have 2 membership tiers. It's not too expensive. On the main page of our YouTube, if you go to the home tab, you'll see a join button on the end there. And when you click join, it'll give you 2 options to sign up for membership. As soon as you sign up for a membership, put your name in the form that Rebecca set up. It is listed under our links on our main YouTube. It's also listed on our Facebook page. It's a private Facebook page called Something's Off with Mel Barrett and Rebecca Lavoie. Please go join. Heavy debate happens over there. Heavy, and by heavy, I mean good debate, honest debate, ethical debate. So there's a bunch of links on that page. You can join as a member of the YouTube channel. That really helps our algorithm as well. And you're gonna get some perks if you join. Put your name in the form. Rebecca's gonna send you some stickers. I've got a discount code for you that I'm getting ready to put out for our merch store. We also do members only lives. I think the next one we're going to do is going to be another AMA. The last time we tried to do it, Rebecca almost passed out on the microphone because she took too much cold medicine or something. But we're going to be doing another one of those pretty soon. And of course, we love to see you in the chat and recognize you in the chat when you become a member. So thank you. If you feel like tipping, the QR code is right above me. Although some people say my image is flipped, so maybe it's on this side. Not really sure, but the links are listed down below. You can do Venmo or Cash App. And then for our international viewers, I had someone reach out to me the other day from Australia that isn't able to use Venmo or the Cash App. So you can do PayPal as well. And the PayPal is listed on our main page on YouTube as well. Okay. I think that's housekeeping out of the way. No, it's not. Rebecca and I were supposed to be on Emily C's Friendly Wed game tomorrow, but that is getting rescheduled because Emily had a conflict. And Rebecca was also supposed to be on Jimmy, Auntie Deb's stream today, but that also got rescheduled. I know we were all really excited about that. Jimmy's hilarious and Rebecca is hilarious, and we love spending time with Jimmy. So that's going to be rescheduled. The Friendly Wed game is probably going to be 2 weeks from now because Rebecca's traveling next week. But yeah, that's it. Oh, and then I also have my regular newslight is happening tonight at 7 p.m. with a very special guest. Her name is Marcia Chatlin, and she is a Pulitzer Prize winning historian and author. And I'm so excited to have her on. We have so much to talk about on Newslight. So if you want to check that out, 7 p.m. Eastern, and the YouTube stream is Newslight with Mel Barrett. So check it out. Okay, let's dive into Kelsey Fitzsimmons. Let me look at the chat really quick, and then we have a lot to get through, because for those of you who haven't been here in the past when we've gone over this, I told Rebecca the story of Kelsey, I think a couple of months ago, but now I've really gotten into what's happening and all the minutia of what happened in Kelsey's case, and there's a lot to it. So I'm sure a lot of you already know about it, but just for those of you who don't, we're going to go through it. Wait, when does what start? Amanda, sorry, I'm a little behind. Hi, Clem, glad you're here. Oh yeah. You're going to watch it anyways. We might as well watch it together. Yeah. Oh, good. Cindy Lou got the free membership. I love that. Strains credulity. It's not a tongue twister. I got this. Yeah, YouTube has been acting strange lately, Dusty Rose. Everyone's saying that. It's really strange to me. I mean, our numbers were we're moving pretty steadily, and it wasn't because we were doing anything extra. We were just doing our regular content. But then as soon as we started doing these sort of daily, the daily coverage of the Corey Richins trial, it just started topping off. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people watch shorts, Kayla. I think they're really trying to push the shorts because it makes them more money for people to watch shorts than it does these long form videos. Let's see. Yeah, Amanda said YT is always finding a way to cheat their creators, and it makes me sad. Without y'all, there would be no YouTube. I agree. I mean, yeah. It's my mod. Broken Baker. It's my mods who do all the work. I am just a clown. You're not a clown, sir. Get out of here. I do love your dance moves. I'm with Cindy Lou on that one. Let's see. Yeah, the videos that I have today, Jess, I remember, Baker dancing during the hold music, that was amazing. I believe there was some robot happening in there, which just shows our age that I recognize it and that he did it. Today I'm gonna be diving into Emily C's cuts of the 911 calls because, a lot of the extra stuff is taken out, so we'll just be focusing on the calls themselves. We'll get to that a little bit later. Um It's literally unliking when I click thumbs up. Yeah, I don't know. Everything's a little bit strange in YouTube right now. Hopefully we'll get the kinks worked out, but meh. Um I like that some are calling them a lying instead of alien or I'm it's messed up in my head again. Oh no. I am pretty sure that Rebecca wasn't poisoned by a sandwich, although Kevin does a lot of cooking in that house. Who knows? Hey Jen, my background, it takes a lot to set it up. So I think what I'm going to be doing from going forward is I'm going to be using this background for Something's Off, and then I'll be using my tile background for Newslight because I only want to set it up once and later in the evening so that I can then take it down because otherwise I have this like 3-panel flat in the middle of my bedroom like all day long and it's really inconvenient. So eventually, I will figure out the studio situation, but this is what we have right now. People did say they missed the color of the walls, though, and these walls make me feel so calm. So I'm happy to share them with you all. Oh, Jess, I'm sorry. I went looking for Rebecca and Jimmy after the Kelsey hearing and then ended and was kind of glad I didn't miss Rebecca's live reactions. Yeah. Uh, oh, the trial dates. Amanda was asking about trial dates. So from what I understand right now, we are starting trial on Monday, and it looks like it's only going to be a few days, maybe to the end of the week, but I don't think it's even going to be that long. So that's what we're looking at right now. Um, yeah, you can change this setting. VB Chick says, I never watch shorts, and that's all I see in my feed. So annoying. You can change your settings. When a short pops up, you can click on the 3 dots. I think it's up in the right corner or the bottom right corner. And you can say, I don't want to see this, or I don't want to see as many shorts. And that will change the settings for you with YouTube. As far as I understand it, I haven't tried to do it myself. Um, I'm really glad you're here, VB Chick. This is your first stream with us. Super excited you're here. Yeah, I wonder, I don't know if Baker's still here, but I wonder if Baker knows about Jen's dog Jonah said you and Baker can start a new dance group. I don't know if Baker knows about our dance Dream and Never Cease Eternity. But he definitely needs a sticker for sure. Let's see. Oh, I appreciate that, honey. Honey, honey kid, I send Venmo so YouTube doesn't get as much. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's really nice of you. And we absolutely appreciate all the tippers. Um, I've said this before, but every time I get a notification on my phone that one of y'all has sent a tip in, even if it's like $2, $5, doesn't matter to me. It just really warms my heart because it means you're thinking about us and you recognize that we do a lot of work to put these shows out. And yeah, it just means the world. So thank you so much for the tips. Um, yeah, we're gonna get into this, Joe Pa. I'm starting to question Bradle's legal maneuvers. I don't think trial by judge is a great idea in a he said, she said case. Be nice to have 12 have to agree unanimously. I agree with that to some extent. I felt like it was going toward a bench trial, and I think for Kelsey, that was the right decision for her to make. I do think this judge is going to be fair. And I think he's going to hear the case, and I don't think he's going to bring any emotion into it. So to me, it seems like a good idea, but we'll talk about it a little bit more. Melanie Little calls him just in it for the money, Elaine. Yeah, that's about right. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, Amanda says you can ask it to show you less shorts. I know that there is some sort of notification or settings button on the shorts that you can change that. Denise, we're going to get into it, but Kelsey is for sure having a bench trial. It was decided today in the pre-trial hearing, and it starts on Monday. So, okay, let's see. As long as there's no bait and switch with the judges. I don't think that's going to happen at this point. I think that Judge Karp, he's already made so many rulings on this case, big rulings that deal specifically with the trial, not with bail conditions. I mean, he did make decisions about bail conditions as well, but moving forward with the actual trial, he's made so many rulings. So I think he's on it for good. Oh, glad you're here too. Cyber Chick Boston, first live. Glad you're here. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. What I'm going to do first, a lot of you already know a lot about this case, but I want to break it down so we can look at this together. And I know that the chat's going to go by me. Usually Rebecca and I keep an eye on this together. So just give me a little grace today, because I'm gonna go into a lot of the stuff about KELSEY FITZSIMMONS case, and then I'm gonna break and have to go back through the comments. So I'm gonna star a comment so I know where to start again. And what I'm gonna do is I want to go through a timeline of events. So we'll go through this pretty quickly. If anybody has any questions or they missed something, just let me know and I'll try to get back to it. But back in November of 2023 through March of 2024, KELSEY began a relationship with Justin. Now, KELSEY is a North Andover police officer. Justin was a firefighter in the same area. Eventually, he moves in with KELSEY at the Phillipsbrook Road home in March of 2024. Now, keep this in mind. That home is KELSEY's. Her name is on the deed. She has paid the mortgage on it. It is her house when he moves into it. In May of 2024, KELSEY graduates from the police academy and is sworn in as a North Andover police officer. In August of 2024, KELSEY, along with Officer Patrick Noonan, who becomes really important later to this case, responds to a critical incident involving the M slash death. I don't know what other word to use besides suicide of a mother and her baby. It was a very traumatic experience for both of them. They both discussed and I think they both had to seek mental health support because they witnessed the aftermath of this mother who had murdered her child and then committed suicide. And they were both deeply troubled by this. This happened not too long before what happened with KELSEY. In February 2025, baby C is born to KELSEY and Justin. Baby C is, I'm not going to use the baby's name. I don't want to put their whole name out there. A lot of people already know it, but baby C is born to KELSEY and Justin. They are also engaged. And they're supposed to be married in 2025. So in May of 2025, over Mother's Day, Justin allegedly gets drunk and falls in the shower. Home surveillance footage from May 15th onward purportedly captures Justin smoking weed on the property. So what's come out recently is in one of the filings from the defense, which I'm going to go over with you today, KELSEY discovered, and I assume it's on Ring camera, surveillance camera of some kind at her house, over 100 videos of Justin smoking a lot of pot. Now, I take gummies. I don't really smoke pot. So I don't have any issues with THC. I don't have any issues with anyone who smokes it. The issue here is that Justin is a firefighter and he is absolutely not allowed to smoke pot or take any other kind of drugs. And the videos that KELSEY has of him are him like hitting, like taking really big hits really fast. And he's always hiding when he's doing it. So he's like out back by the shed, or he's like in the mud room where no one can see him. And, so that came out recently, but that on Mother's Day, KELSEY is also alleging that he's a heavy, heavy drinker. And based on what she tells us in the last filing they made, it does sound like he has an issue. He has a problem with alcohol. I don't want to, diagnose him or anything like that, but it does seem like he might have a problem with alcohol, to the point where on Mother's Day, he got so drunk that he fell in the shower. June 27th through the 28th of 2025, Justin and KELSEY get into a fight while in Maine at their joint bachelor/bachelorette party. This is where everything kicks off. Justin alleges that they got into an argument and that KELSEY was drunk and screaming at him, and punched him with a closed fist in the face, I think 3 times is what he said. Kelsey disputes this claim, and some other witnesses at the party also dispute this claim. Justin leaves, Kelsey eventually leaves, and they go back to Massachusetts. They go back to North Andover. And following this, in the days, a couple of days after this, Justin moves out of the house that they were living in together, right? And then on June 30th, 2025, Justin is granted an ex parte 209A abuse prevention order, which is a restraining order, and is awarded full physical custody of the baby. Now, what the reason in Massachusetts, you can go in ex parte, which means you can go in by yourself, fill out the paperwork to get a restraining order and get a restraining order. It doesn't always happen that way in other states, and Massachusetts is a commonwealth, but usually you have to go before a judge, things like that. So Justin gets this restraining order, and it's to take the baby away. It's to keep Kelsey away from him and the baby, basically. And it's all based on what he said happened in Maine. So at this point, the same day, 3 North Andover police officers enter Kelsey's home to serve the 209A order. Officer Noonan, if you'll remember, was her partner who witnessed that horrific M/suicide with her, enters the home with 2 other people. Now, it is alleged, and I believe it's true because of what came up in the hearing today, that Justin is also at the house. One of the things that happened that day, and we're going to hear this in the 911 calls, is that Justin asked Kelsey to meet him at the park earlier to talk about their relationship. The 2 were also texting and calling each other all day. Kelsey was very upset about what was happening. She was asking him to come back to the house. He was refusing to do that. He said, "Hey, let's meet up at the park." So she took the baby and she went to the park to meet him. He never showed. The reason he never showed is because he was getting this restraining order. And he was also on the phone with 911, him and his sister, who was doing a lot of speaking for him in the 911 calls, working on getting this restraining order, working on getting his stuff out of the house. And so it is alleged that Justin is actually in the house when these 3 other officers show up. I think he's in the basement of the house. Once the officers come into the house and they tell Kelsey what's going on, because she has no idea. This is the first she has heard about this. And in one fell swoop, so just a few minutes, officers walk in, and officers who she works with, who she knows, who she likes. And I should also mention, I skipped over something really big here. After Chelsea gave birth to baby C, she experienced postpartum depression, and she was having some mental health issues to the point where she took leave of her job at the North Andover Police Department, and her chief was concerned enough that they took her weapons from her until she was better. So she got to the place right before this day happened, when they were coming in and serving her this restraining order. She got to the place where she had been approved to go back to work. In fact, she had been at the police department earlier that day because she was updating her what am I trying to say? What is it called when you give someone CPR? Geez, wow, menopause. When you give, she was updating her CPR training. And while she was there, she was supposed to get back one of her radios because she was getting ready to go back on duty. And there was the 4th of July holiday was coming up, and she was going to be working the 4th of July holiday. And one of the officers at the North Andover Police Department said, "Yeah, hold off on giving her radio back. We're not sure all of this is worked out." Now, keeping in mind that all happened while Justin is calling the police department and saying, "We're scared of her. We think she's going to hurt the baby, blah, blah, blah. And so I have this restraining order. What do I do? Can I go to the house? Can I get my stuff?" You're going to hear a telephone call with a 911 operator where Justin speaks with this older woman who's just like, "Oh, Justin, you poor baby. Yeah, let me help you out. You're totally allowed to go there. That's your house too." it wasn't his house. And the reason why we know on that date and that time it wasn't his house is because he had already filled out the restraining order. And on the paperwork, he said his permanent address where he was living was his parents' house in Stowe. So he had already moved out of the house and already claimed a different address as his domicile, basically. Okay. Are you with me? Everybody's good? Okay. So we have Officer Noonan, two other North Andover police officers in Kelsey's house. And in the span of a couple of minutes, they say, hey, Kelsey, sorry, we're here to serve you a restraining order to keep away from Justin. And also, we're taking your baby and we're giving the baby to Justin. This baby was 4 months old. It was still breastfeeding. They were still breastfeeding. And then on top of that, also your job is going to be in jeopardy. So in a span of a couple of minutes, Kelsey's entire life just crumbles around her. And it's been going on for a few days. She's, been dealing with this for a few days. So she says, okay, can I get some stuff for the baby? And, can I just make sure that the baby has what it needs? And they're like, sure. Two police officers escort her upstairs to the bedroom. One of the police officers leaves. And so she is alone in the bedroom now with Officer Noonan, her ex-partner who had the horrific experience with her. And in that moment, here is where the entire case hinges, in that bedroom. I will tell you what Officer Noonan says happened, and then I will tell you what Kelsey said happened. Officer Noonan said Kelsey was acting a little bit funny, and then all of a sudden she dove behind a door, and when she came back out, she was holding a gun and she was pointing it at him. And she pulled the trigger, and it dry fired. And he pulled out his gun, pointed it at her, took 2 shots, missed on the first one, and hit her square in the chest. What the other officers heard downstairs was Noonan say, don't do it. Okay, so keep that in mind. Also keep in mind, Justin's in the basement. When Justin hears this commotion and hears gunshots fired, he gets the fuck out of there, leaves. Kelsey's story is that she is distraught, heartbroken, feeling like everything is crumbling down around her. She goes into the bedroom. She's gathering stuff. She says she takes her service weapon, or maybe it was her personal weapon, I'm not really sure, and she points it at her own head. And then Officer Noonan shoots her twice in the chest. And remember, he said, Kelsey, don't do it. So that could mean anything. At that point, she is taken by ambulance to the hospital, and she is in surgery, fighting for her life. She fights for her life for 53-ish days. And during that time, the case is taken to a grand jury for attempted murder. And a grand jury returns no true bill, which means they don't believe that this case meets the burden that the state needs it to meet. So they downgrade the charge to assault by means of a dangerous weapon. And Kelsey is arraigned while she is in her hospital room. And then shortly after that, she is actually sent to prison. And I may get this part wrong. I can't remember if she was sent to prison and then and then Bradel comes on, who is her lawyer now, along with Martha Coakley, who's a really big name in Massachusetts legal circles, as well as, because she ran for, she was the attorney general and also ran for governor against Charlie Baker. Bradel applies for different bail, basically. And they want to put her on house arrest. A judge agrees to it. And that judge's name, I can never remember her name. Her last name is Neiman. She's shady as fuck, and we've gone over her before. They're going to allow Kelsey to be on house arrest, but she's not allowed to have any alcohol, and she has to be tested for alcohol randomly. And that test is called a SANE test, I believe. And basically, it's a breathalyzer. She's got to breathe into a breathalyzer. Now, keep in mind, Kelsey has been shot in the chest. So she can't take these deep breaths that are required. So once she's been on house arrest, Bradel goes back into court and he says, hey, listen, judge, we have notes from her doctor. We also have her probation officer here. And they're telling us that Kelsey is really struggling with this breathalyzer. And they're not getting back necessarily the results that are accurate. She can do it, but it's causing her immense amount of pain, and they're getting a lot of false results because of it. Is there any way we can switch to urine testing, for example? The judge, Neiman at the time, loses her shit in court, basically, goes after Bradel, and those are my words. That's what I saw. Or I didn't see it. Everyone always corrects me on this. I feel like I saw it because I heard the whole thing. There was no video on this trial. It was just audio. There, I'm correcting the record. Everyone knows I didn't see it. And when I say I saw it, it's because I'm seeing it in my own brain. Hold on. So the judge is really hard on them and doesn't understand why Kelsey can't breathe into the breathalyzer. And they're like, because she was shot in the chest. And the judge is like, do we know that for sure? And it's like, yeah, she went through surgeries and all that. She doesn't want to hear from the probation officer who's in the court and willing to get on the stand and talk to her. She rules that if Kelsey can't do the breathalyzer, then she needs to go back to jail. And the judge sends her back to jail. Crazy. Finally, Bradel gets back into court and files to have the judge recused from this case, and finds out that the judge also had ex parte communications with the probation officer and was digging into what actually happened with the probation officer and didn't tell anybody. So all of this stuff is pretty damning. I was looking at it and thinking, oh man, are they actually going to recuse this? Like, is she going to have to recuse herself? Are they going to actually do something about this? But no, it's Massachusetts. What they actually end up doing is going, oh, she's not even scheduled for the hearings, for the trials. So don't even worry about it. She's in civil court. This is criminal. You're going to have a different judge. And we do have a different judge now. And that judge's name is Karp. And he's pretty lovely. And Bradel was very excited the first day that they were in hearings with Karp, going over all this stuff. So anyway, let's get back to the timeline. July 3rd, Justin and 3 of his friends, one of those friends is, I believe, his brother, are seen on Kelsey's new home security camera, literally breaking the door down, going into her home. This is a week or so after all of this happened. And it's been established that Justin doesn't live there, and he established it himself by putting it on the RO. So there's video surveillance. Kelsey's dad he does like video security, stuff like that. So he had gone to her house, after she was arrested, and he put up a whole new security system, high tech, changed the locks on the doors. And so Justin tries to get the permission of the North Andover Police Department, and he does, because it's Justin and they love him. And he and his friends go over there and they bust the door down. They go into the basement. They rip the new security system out of the wall, so everything shuts down. And then they take a bunch of stuff. They take a bunch of stuff out of Kelsey's house, including her passport, including her laptop, including what we're told is $5,000, which Justin says was actually his. And pretty much, like, one of the most important things is Justin takes a letter that's under a magnet on the fridge that is detailing how good of a mom Kelsey is. And Justin himself wrote that letter. He doesn't want that to be used in family probate court. Oh, I don't know why my watch is talking to me. Sorry, y'all. So the break-in is all caught on camera. And then we know, because of what Kelsey's affidavit says, that he took a bunch of stuff out of the house, including her passport and her laptop. Her laptop connected to his parents' Wi-Fi, and the digital footprint on that laptop shows that he closed out her bank accounts. He went over into her benefits from the city of North Andover, state of Massachusetts, and he changed the benefactor on her life insurance to be him. He did a bunch of shady shit. He moved money around. He closed out accounts. He took money from her. And after all, and it's in my opinion that he did all of that because he assumed that she was going to die. She was shot in the chest. And so he had a right to do that. He doesn't have a right to do that. Spoiler alert. On July 4th, Justin's mother, Lisa, texts Stowe Lieutenant Kelly Barite asking for personal police protection. I'm not sure why. And like I said, Kelsey was arraigned from her hospital bed on August 7th. August 28th is when she's granted release after the grand jury only indicts her. So I was right. She did go to prison, or she did go at least to jail. And then September 8th, Judge Kathleen McCarthy Neiman releases Kelsey from custody with multiple strict conditions. I think I said the safe test. It's actually a SCRAM device. That's the alcohol testing device. Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about this. So after Judge McCarthy Neiman orders her to go back to jail after she can't do the SCRAM device, on September 16th, Justin files a motion in court. This is crazy. To attach real estate for the payment of child support. Now, Kelsey, like I said, she owned the house. Kelsey is in a position now where she has to sell her house in order to pay for her legal fees. Justin wants the proceeds of the sale of this woman's house, the house that she owns and she owned before him, to pay for child support. Now, from what I've heard, this is rumor, speculation. Kelsey did sell the house, and I think she got like 500,000 or 560 or something like that for it. She immediately put $50,000 into an account for the baby, for Justin to take care of the baby. But he wants more. He wants all of it. So, in October 2025, Kelsey's team appeals the judge's detention decision to the Supreme Judicial Court, and it's denied in November. In November, that's when Kelsey sells her home and puts $50,000 into an account for Justin to use for the baby. January 16th, sadly, baby C is baptized, and Kelsey's stepsister is the only family member allowed to attend from her side. And Lisa, Justin's mother, asks for more personal police protection. That's weird to me. No one's trying to attack them. At least I haven't seen any evidence of that. If you all have, let me know. I haven't seen it. February 26, 2026, we're almost done here. The Essex County DA announces that no criminal charges will be filed against Justin following a review of the July 3rd home break-in. And then Justin gives an off-camera TV interview. I thought that was really strange, defending his actions regarding breaking into Kelsey's house. March 13th, Judge Jeffrey Karp eases Kelsey's bail conditions, allowing her to move into her own apartment, which was a lovely day. And he also made it so that she didn't have to, there was no contact order with the baby, which means, that's one step toward being able to see her child again, but she still has to go through family court and fight it there. So, one of the other updates, I don't know what the date was on this, but Justin was also put on paid leave. There are a bunch of people on the Twitch-wats talking about, now this kid has two parents who don't have jobs and can't take care of him. And I'm like, he's on paid leave. The guy is fine. Plus, he has $50,000 sitting in an account that Kelsey gave him to take care of the baby. So fuck off with that opinion. But anyway, all right. Before we get into the last two hearings, I'm going to go back through the chat, see where we are, see if I said anything wrong, and you all are going to correct me. I'm sure I did. Let's see. This is housekeeping. Tiffany said, also sign up for memberships on the desktop version of YouTube. Apple charges more if you sign up through the YouTube app. That's a really good tip, and thanks for saying that. Love the term bait and switch to describe the Massachusetts judge situation, Jen's dog Jonah says. Let's see. Strange Credulity said, I think it's smart because it's evident that the Commonwealth would 100% try to enter extraneous evidence to smear Kelsey that unfairly would sway a jury. I agree with that. I mean, I think that's a great reason for a bench trial because, yes, I mean, they're already trying. They tried that today, actually. So should be interesting. Nefarious Shenanigans, duh. I love it. Said, Mel, you are awesome. I appreciate that. I think you're awesome right back. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. VB Chick says, it's terrifying to know that Lisa has a foster child. Bet she doesn't push for reunification with the mother because she wants to keep the child. Now she wants baby C, helicopter mom in the worst way. Yeah, it might be. Justin is so shady. Yes, it seems like that. Let's see. Yes. Jess says, just to reiterate, RO, the restraining order, was based solely on Justin's claims and granted because those claims taken at face value, not because anything was proven true. Exactly. In Massachusetts, you can go file for a restraining order ex parte, meaning on your own, and it's granted. Good times. Good times. Someone said CPR. Yeah, I got it eventually. Thanks, Chastity. Let's see. Amanda says, I hate how women almost get punished for admitting to postpartum mental health issues. It carries such a heavy stigma. Absolutely right. We covered this case a couple weeks ago, the Clancy case, also in Massachusetts, about a woman who not only had postpartum depression, but that depression morphed into postpartum psychosis. And she emmed her 3 children and tried to em herself, and that didn't work. And now she is paralyzed and she is going to trial. She did everything in her power to take care of the issues she was having, and her husband tried to help too. She was given a dozen or more different medications in the span of just a couple of months. She tried to put herself into an inpatient facility. She was only there for 5 days before they put her out. She went back to another place. She did everything she possibly could, and no one took her seriously, including medical professionals, of which she was one because she was an RN. And so, if you want to know a little bit more about postpartum depression and psychosis, you can go back and listen to the story that I told Rebecca about the Clancys. And then I also covered it on the In Between podcast as well. Lauren, not me yelling CPR at my phone. Thank you. I was making the movements. I knew what I wanted to say, but I was thinking of CNR, CPR, CPS, thinking of all those things. Yeah, this I thought was really a really interesting point that just came out in the past few days, nefarious shenanigans. They didn't give the radio back because they didn't want her to hear. Yeah. Some of the calls that we're going to listen to are Justin and his sister trying to keep the restraining order from Kelsey from her finding out. So they're like, I know she's at the PD today because she's doing her CPR training. Can you guys keep this under wraps? Don't let her know. She's going to freak out. I'm not sure that's actually what would have happened. I think it was really super shady that they were trying to keep her from finding out, though. Strain's Credulity said, not one of Justin's actions show any care or consideration for the well-being of their child. In fact, they tend to evidence him not caring about the well-being of their baby. Yeah, and there were a couple of other things that come up in the 911 calls, and I'll let you guys be the judge of this. The baby is in the background. It sounds like Justin's actually holding the baby when he's making one of these calls. And he also says something along the lines of taking possession of the baby or something like that. It's really weird, the language he uses, but we'll listen to it and you can make up your own mind. Let's see. Hope the family court will see that he's a fucking liar, Cindy Lou says. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to see. I'm worried about family court. I mean, I think that they tend to side with the mom, but this case is so messy because there's also the criminal case. I just don't, I'm scared about what the family court's going to do. VB Chick says mass court cases have made me terrified of just how powerful the government is. You and me both, sister. And it's not just the mass cases. There's a lot going on. We've talked briefly about the Foss case in Georgia. Please go check it out. I'm going to try to do something a little bit more in depth on it. I covered it briefly on the In Between podcast, and we covered it here. But please, please, please go look at the Edric Foss case against Georgia. He was just convicted of murder that I'm pretty sure he didn't do. But one of my main, what's the word I'm looking for? Here I go again. One of the things that's like, I'm a stickler for, and the thing that bothers me the most is how much power judges have and how much power the state has, the district attorney has in bringing charges just to begin with. I mean, it's not a joke. I mean, I know it's a saying, but you can indict a ham sandwich. You just have to bring a case in front of a grand jury. There's no opposing side. It's only what the prosecution wants to present to a grand jury. And if that grand jury sides with the prosecution, that person is indicted. That's what happened to Karen Reed. Where Kelsey is lucky, the grand jury didn't indict her for murder or attempted murder in this case, because she would be facing a lot worse if that had been the case. And I'm glad they returned a no true bill in that case. That call about going to the house was after, not the day of the pewing. Um, there were 2 calls, I think, Jess. I'll look at them when we pull up the 911s, but there's a call with Justin and his sister saying, "We don't want her to know about the RO," and he's talking about going over there, um, I know he's talking about going over there in another call to get stuff for the baby. You might be right, I may be wrong, I just listened to the calls last night, but we'll listen to them again, and we can make up our minds from there, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Tony said, "Hi, Mel. This morning I saw the text messages and they are so tame. Kelsey seems sad, but fine." Yeah, we're going to get into the text messages. I'm going to go through what happened in the trial or the hearing today, the pre-trial hearing, and also what happened in the last hearing. But text messages came up out of the blue finally, that apparently Justin gave to the DA on Friday. And the DA wants to bring these text messages in. Bradel doesn't want them in. The DA does, and they have a really weird reason for wanting them in, and the judge is like, "I think these actually are pretty good for the defense, so, I don't know, I'm not probably gonna let them in." We'll get to that in just a minute, though. Let's see. Yeah, so this is a point that I always make too, Tony. Tony said, "There is no door on that room." So and we're and also the way that it's set up, like, I want you guys to imagine this. Noonan, the officer who shot Kelsey, Noonan says, "Kelsey dove behind a door and then came out with her gun." The only door in the room is that I can see from the pictures is the door that is the entrance to the room, and it doesn't look like there's actually a swinging door on the inside of the room. There may be one on the outside, the door might swing out, but he says they're in the room and she dives behind the door and he shoots her. There's no door to dive behind. Make it make sense. That's a big bone of contention I have. Um, Yeah, this is an interesting point by TB. Turtle Boy said, Brittany said, Turtle Boy said in an interview, if there's no body cam footage, the benefit should be given to the defendant. I agree with that to some extent. For the audience that doesn't know, in North Andover, they don't wear body cams. They should. It's 2026. All police officers and law enforcement officers should be wearing body cams. Not only, it protects them, but it also protects, victims or people that they get into skirmishes with. It's good for everybody. They should be wearing them. The fact that body cams aren't being worn by North Andover makes me trust them a lot less. And I agree. She should have the benefit of the doubt if there's no body cam. If it's a he said, she said, and I mean, I don't know how they're going to figure this out. The only thing that I've seen that makes me think of physical evidence in this case is somebody posted a graphic, and I wish I could remember who it was. It was on Twitter the other day, and I mentioned this in one of the last lives we did about this. If Kelsey, who is a trained officer, is pointing her gun, more than likely she's not doing it with one hand because she's been trained to shoot with two hands. If she is pointing her gun at Noonan, then her chest is blocked. And so, how did he shoot her square in the chest? If she's pointing a gun at her own head, her chest is open. That says a lot to me. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if they're going to bring in any kind of forensics person. I've heard that the defense, if they, because they're putting on a case, and I think Kelsey may even take the stand. I think she's on the witness list. I don't know. They're going to bring in healthcare providers. I hope they bring in some experts. I'm not really sure what they're planning to do, but we will find out next week. Let's see. Yeah. This is what the defense is arguing, and I agree. This is a horrific moment. This is a moment where you're just coming out of postpartum depression, and Jess from the chat is saying, lost baby, job, and possible reconciliation with Justin, all in the same moment, so understandably broken. And that is why it makes sense that she might try to take her own life instead of trying to shoot somebody else. That doesn't make sense to me, right? Does that make sense to anybody else? Doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. Cindy Lou said the fact he was in the basement, heard the gunshots, and left is wild. Could never get past that. Same. Let's see. All right, there's a lot to get through here. Sorry, hold on. Yeah. I mean, you could think about this both ways. Nefarious says, "Why would he say Kelsey, don't do it?" and proceeds to take a shot at her. Couldn't he disarm her? He's a cop. That's one of my biggest he's a shitty cop, I should say, is what Nefarious said. One of the biggest arguments that I have is not only is he a cop, he's worked with this woman before. He was partners with this woman on another case before. She's this little tiny thing. Shoot her in the knee. I mean, like, why are we shooting in square in the chest? He missed on the first shot, and the second shot was square in the chest. Disarm her. Like, shoot her hand, do something, but like it doesn't make any sense to me. I totally get it. Um yeah, let's see. McCarthy should never see the bench again. She's an evil woman. McCarthy Neiman. Yeah, I mean, she seemed this is what VB Chick said. It seems to me like she's definitely compromised, and I can't believe that she's not like having to deal with any sanctions for what she did. It's proven that she had ex parte communications. The probation officer said so. So, I don't know. Okay. Anyone new to this case, Jess says, anyone new to this case should seek out the audio of the bail revocation hearing to truly understand the level of fuckery in this case. Agree. So that's the judge that we're talking about, Neiman, McCarthy Neiman. Go listen to that audio if you want to understand literally what Jess is saying, the fuckery of this case, because that judge pulled some shit that day and sent this woman back to jail. And there was no need for it. And I still cannot understand why it happened. And it makes me think she's got some kind of connections to the Elaine family or something. You know what I mean? Let's see. Tony said, and this is in response to VB Chick, to her being psychotic, I think the sister was more involved. I agree. Y'all need to see the text between Kelsey and Justin that day. He's a loser. He's a loser. He's a wicked loser. Yeah, the struggle is teal. So the ex parte stuff with the PO makes my head explode. Mine too. Wiping out her accounts is crazy, Brittany says. Yeah. Close. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That's some straight up Handmaid's Tale shit right there. Do you guys, if anybody watched The Handmaid's Tale or read the books, do you remember in the show the day the women found out that their bank accounts had been drained and all their money had been given to their male next of kin? That's what this is. He walked in there and thought, I have every right to this. I have every right to this. She's going to die. No one's going to care. I need money to take care of the baby. And he went and he stole her money. He closed her accounts. He changed the beneficiary on her life insurance and her benefits. And I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like, how is any of this okay? And how did he not get charged with anything? That's the craziest thing to me. And he didn't, the state, the DA, nobody brought any charges against him. And we'll get to that in a minute because Bradel thinks that he was offered something, which is what they brought up in the trial that happened or the hearing that happened before the one that happened today. So he looted her. Yep. Justin's a loser. He's a wicked fucking loser. Yeah, he got into her medical records also. That's another thing, a HIPAA violation. He's a fucking firefighter. He knows better. He should anyway. Okay. He accessed the pension. The dude is a trash can. The Islands are just like the McAlberts, VB Chick said. They have that vibe for sure. Faux shout. Tired Vegas mom said they're just coming in late. Must watch this. I was about to post in the group to ask for a recap. I just did a full-on breakdown. You can go back and watch it from the beginning now if you want, Tired Vegas mom. And then, I don't know, I talk kind of fast, so you might not need to put it on double speed or 1.5 speed. But you can go back and listen and get caught up with us right now if you want. They keep saying her dad is going to do something. That is bullshit. I mean, I believe you, Tony, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. So Jess said, I thought he changed the beneficiary to him since they weren't married. She may have still had it as a baby or family member. Yeah, I think you're right, Jess. I think he changed it to himself. I mean, what kind of balls do you have to have? Ugh, gross. Um, yeah, the weirdest thing is that he accessed her medical. That's one of the weird things about this case. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what are you looking for? Are you looking? I mean, I assumed that he was looking for ammunition in for family court. He was looking for mental health records. He was looking for stuff like that, you know. Um, Shelly or Shell. I'm not sure if it's Shelly or Shell. Correct me, Shelly Womble. Super stupid question. There are no stupid questions. What exactly is she charged with? Attempted murder on her colleague. She is technically charged with assault by means of a dangerous weapon. That is what she is being charged with. Hold on here. Yeah. I think there's a lot more to it. There's a lot there. I mean, look at Sandra Birchmore too. So VB Chick says it's crazy that both major cases in mass, both women dealing with police corruption, and they share the same initials KR, both successful women being railroaded. And that's why I really want to shine a light on these cases. We have this conversation all the time that if it can happen to um privileged, successful white women, it could happen. Think about what's happening to everybody else who doesn't have high-powered lawyers that they can pay for, or a house that they can sell to pay for, or like because they both sold their houses to pay for these, for their legal fight. Sandra Birchmore's family doesn't have that option. I mean, their case is federal, so it's a little bit different. But Sandra Birchmore is another one. She was taken advantage of by these men in power who sex trafficked her basically. And then when she got pregnant and they were scared that it was one of their child, like because she's told Matthew Farwell that it was his baby, even though it wasn't. She didn't know that. I don't think. They killed her. He killed her. And then tried to cover it up. And all the other cops like kind of rallied around him to help him cover it up. And it's just like, there is deep rot happening in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, in the Massachusetts State Police and some of these local jurisdictions. And we really need to keep putting a spotlight on cases like this so that we can show the world what's happening there. And hopefully, with enough pressure, things will change. That's my hope. Okay. The Clancy case, that case breaks me. Super Planner Girl Amanda said, me too. This is an interesting comment, TC Nerd. I was surprised to see the picture of the guy who shot Kelsey, assumed it was a young guy with little training. That's really funny because my first instinct was the opposite. I assumed it was like an older dude, who just like is used to having the power of a gun in his hand. That was I mean, I think that it could be either, but it's interesting that your first instinct was that it was like a young, impulsive guy. And for me, it was like an older dude who's just like, oh shit, and like shot her. By the way, cute dog. Looks like a lab pity mix in your photo. Let's see. I still don't understand what happened. Let's see. Jelly Tot said, I still don't understand what happened at her party. Seems to start everything, and yet I'm still unclear what happened between Kelsey and Justin. Well, that's because the only thing that's on the record necessarily right now, well, I guess Kelsey added a little bit in her in the filing she just made, but the only thing that's been on the record is Justin's side of it. So we don't really know what happened. I'm hearing that he was actually being crazy and was like really drunk and high, and she was getting upset with him, and she was having to, go and breastfeed, and they got into a fight and it turned physical. However, it turned physical. And that's the only thing I know so far is what is in Justin's report, but we'll get to what's in Kelsey's report too. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm getting close here. Cyber chickens, yes. Baker. Obtain the child. That's what it was, Tony. So when I was referencing the 911 call and I was referencing Justin's language, he said something along the lines of, how do I obtain the child? It was so cringy. It was so cringy. Ugh. Let's see. Member for 4 months. Thanks, Tony. Everyone needs to read the text messages. Kelsey sounds sad and stressed, but fine. Also, you get insight into what happened at the bachelor party. Yeah, that's true. I will try to pull those up. Baker, I don't know if Baker, he's in the chat. So I don't know if Baker did the stream of text, but he definitely released the 911 audio last night. And that was so insightful. So thank you for doing that. Now Noonan says doorway, not door, right? Heathland and Forever. Heathland and Forever, I think is your name. That could be the case, but how does she dive, or how does she dive behind a doorway? There's no door. Yeah, if VB Chick says if those texts are the crux of the Commonwealth case, it shows you how weak it really is. They are desperate. Agreed. Breenan's deviated septum. I just finished listening to the texts that were just allowed. I don't understand what the DA expects them to show. They're saying she's angry. I will get into the argument in a minute because it's the weirdest argument I have ever heard. And even the judge was like, wait, so what your theory is here is what? What are we talking about? I'm going to play it for y'all so you can listen to it yourselves, but okay. Okay. Both Canton, I'm Dunice. Both Canton and North Andover are wealthy towns. They should have body cams these days. Yeah, but that should tell you everything you need to know, Dunice. If they don't have body cams, it's a choice because they don't want to be held accountable. That's my opinion anyway. Oh yeah, that's right. Tony said they are not calling the expert. Yeah, they decided that today. But they may have other experts. I don't know. Okay. The expert, I think, was her surgeon. Is that right? Or am I right about that? Okay. All right, guys, I will come back to the chat in a minute. And let's go back into our story. Let's go ahead and play. Okay, I might freeze up for a second. Just bear with me. I need to move this over. I'm going to play. Oh, shit. Where did it go? Hold on. Why can't I move you over here? I'm going to play the recordings. This is Emily C. cut these down. So if you want to listen to the full recording with the hold music and all that stuff, you can listen to it on Baker's stream. Baker, if you want to put your YouTube handle in the comments so everybody can get to it. Let me see. Okay, let me get this on the screen here. So this is a call with, this isn't really 911. I mean, kind of is, but this is a call with Lieutenant Scott Whitaker, June 30th, 2025 at 2 p.m. So let's just reference our notes. June 30th. This is when Justin applies for and is granted the Ex parte 209A abuse prevention order and is awarded full custody. And this is, I believe, if I remember correctly, this is before they go to serve the restraining order. So we're going to listen to this call. Let me know if you have any trouble hearing it. Try to make sure it's up. Okay. And thank you to Emily C. for putting this together. And thank you to Broken Baker for sending these out to everybody and allowing us to collaborate on this stuff. And it's really helpful. I think it's helpful for Kelsey too. And by the way, if you are inclined, please go donate to Kelsey's legal campaign. I will post the link in this video on the other side. If you have the link or if anybody wants to post it in the comments, please do. Okay.
Your call being recorded.
Hey, this is Justin again. I'm just calling Lieutenant Whitaker back. I just missed his call, unfortunately.
Yeah, Justin, it's me.
Oh, okay. How you doing, sir? I had a couple quick questions for you again.
Yeah.
So she's messaging me telling me that she's planning on taking the baby up to the land in New Hampshire. Do I have any rights to make sure that she does not leave with that child?
She's going to New Hampshire, buddy.
At this point, I don't think we do. I've spoken to my superior.
Yeah.
Filled him in on everything that we talked about, and we don't really have the right to deny her child.
Do I have any rights as a father to obtain my child? Since she's had him for several nights now, do I have any right to, hey, this is a custody. We're both parents here. It's almost my turn to have the kid for the night, so I can know that he's safe and I can go file these after.
Through the police department, no, we don't have that ability. The only way that you would be able to do that if you spoke directly to her and said, you know, I'd like some time with the baby, and if she agrees to that, great. But it sounds like she's probably not gonna be. Yeah.
I have my sister who had a quick question for you as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Grow the fuck up.
I've seen a lot of this. And so I'm on the page of we need to get the baby out of her hands like now or something really bad.
Says who?
Happen.
Says who?
And I know you guys have talked a bit about this, but I am just wondering, is there any difference if she were to try to take the baby out of the state? Does that go against anything? Because that's what she's threatening with. Does the state matter?
It's her baby.
It really doesn't. It's her child.
It doesn't.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
One other question for you, because I think, we're talking about going to the courthouse. How do we, and especially because she is a police officer in this town and everyone talks, and I'm just wondering if we go file this,
what?
How do we, because if she finds out that this is filed before it's being addressed, it's going to end really horribly. So how do we actually ensure?
Wow.
And I guess, do you know anything about that process? Would a police officer come with us or with Justin to the house to get the baby? If this is assuming the custody was ordered, that the restraining order and the custody were ordered, what does that look like? Because we're very worried she'd find out before it could actually take place.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then the way, if an order is granted, they will then email a copy of the order to us for service. So we would serve it and then enforce it. So it would be like, here's your restraining order. Per the order, custody of the child is awarded to Justin, in which case we would have to make arrangements, for him to come take the child.
Okay, so he would not be there when you're presenting that. I mean, this might be an obvious question, I guess, because if he has the restraining order, he shouldn't be there.
Probably not. I mean, we should probably take care of that. It's okay if he wants to be close by, like, in order to take custody of the child quickly.
Right.
He could come if he's in town. We could then reach out to him and say, okay, she's been served. You can come pick up the child now.
Okay. One, just to, I guess, make sure that, because I know you guys will get notified if there is an emergency order put through. She's an officer, of course. What does she have access to see? I'm just, is there a way to flag this directly to, the trusted?
No, when it gets sent to the officer in charge. So nobody sees that except the officer in charge and anyone else who has access to that email, which she does not.
Okay, so that's reassuring. So I'm just trying to make sure there's no chance she could find out before this happens.
Did she catch wind while she was at the police station of anything occurring? Like,
nope.
No. Okay.
Nope. I didn't want to tip her off and give her the opportunity to do anything rash.
Thank you. All right, officer. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, let's discuss. What the fuck? I mean, first of all, I grew up in New Hampshire. I lived in Massachusetts for a little over 13 years. People who live in New Hampshire and Massachusetts drive across the border daily. Like, we go and we buy. New Hampshire is tax-free, right? So if you want to go buy something that's expensive, you go to New Hampshire because it's tax-free. Her father, Kelsey's father, lived in New Hampshire. She was upset. She was freaking out. It had only been a day since the whole Maine incident, and she was going to take the kid over to her parents' house because she was over fucking whelmed. The idea that his sister is like, okay, we don't like the idea that she's going to take this baby. Oh, like, she's not going to let Justin see the baby, right? That's the whole thing. She's not going to let Justin see the baby. So we're going to get ahead of this and we're going to put a restraining order on her because they know that's the quickest way to go about this. Instead of filing something with family court or doing whatever, the quickest way to stop her from movement is to file a restraining order. That's it. And that's what Justin was probably told by his mom and his sister to do. And so he went and fucking did it. Oh, it makes me so mad. What are your thoughts, chat? What are you thinking? There's more to this. Let's see. BB Chick said, I'm going to try and not rage type this, but shit made me red last night. You'll hate him after hearing this. Yeah. Yeah. Jess says he pled his case to the police and it didn't even warrant a wellness check. So he claimed what he needed to claim to get an emergency RO. Exactly. That's my opinion. It sounds like it's your opinion too, Jess. That's what I think happened here. I think he was like, no, the moms have more rights than dads do. She's not going to let me see the kid because we broke up. She's taken her kid to her parents' house. And so I got to do something here to put like gum up the works. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to file a restraining order, which I can just walk in off the street and do myself. And it's going to, but the idea that he filed a restraining order and that the immediate response to that was take her 4-month-old baby from her and hand the baby to the father. Ooh, there's something wrong in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts if that's how that works. I don't like it. And I don't know what to do to change it, but hopefully this will help change it. Yeah, Chastity said catch wind and tip her off. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Wow. Just the boys. Lindsay Snow said just the boys helping the boys for the kids. Ugh. Oh boy. I'm just so frustrated that this is how things work. I'm just and the thing that one of the calls that really bothers me, I think it's the next one, Sergeant Katie Gerke talking to Justin and being like, "Oh, Justin, everyone loves you here. We know this is so hard for you." I'm like, this is how we create men like this because women coddle them. Like, we've got to stop doing this. Jen's dog Jonah said, I'm thinking the police officer is a D-bag. I assume that you're talking about Lieutenant Scott Whitaker, who we just heard, Jen, but I think he comes off sounding that way. I do think he's like, what are you guys trying to do? Like, she's the mom. She can take the baby to New Hampshire if she wants. She can do whatever she wants. Like, what are you trying to do here? I feel like he's trying to, I feel like he actually knows kind of what they're trying to do. And he's just like, oh, this is so complicated. I don't really care, but here's the information you need. You know what I mean? Breastfeeding moms should have rights, TC Nerd said. Agreed. Yeah, Strange Credulity said no good faith basis for the emergency RO, only an entitled man-child and his family weaponizing the PD and the courts to harm Kelsey. That's it in a nutshell. That's my opinion too. I totally agree. Hi, Chris Denton. How are you, my love? He did all this just to make her life miserable, not because he cared at all about this child. She was the target of his anger and likely had been for a long time. And based on what we've learned in the past couple of days, Chris and everyone else, I think that this is another situation where he didn't want any of his private matters getting out to the public. And he probably knew that Kelsey would talk. And he also knew that she had the goods on him. She had all the pot smoking, the acid dropping, the heavy alcohol use, the physical, like how he was physical, all that stuff. She had all of that stuff on him. And if she puts that out to anybody in the community, he's going to lose his job as a firefighter. So I hate that they didn't want to tip. Like, they didn't want Kelsey to know what they were doing. That's so gross. What is she going to do? What the fuck is she going to do? Are you kidding me? Ugh. Okay, let's get into the second audio. So this next one is Sergeant Katie Gerke.
Northern Police Department.
And this is July 2nd, 2025, 9:45 a.m. So this is, let's make sure we have our dates right here. So this is between when after Kelsey was shot. And it's the day before Justin and his friends break into her house. Okay.
Northern Police Fire, this call is quarter.
Hi, this is Justin Alain. I'm on the North Andover Fire Department. I am off duty right now. I do need to speak with the OIC.
Yes, sir. Hold on one second, please.
Yes.
Hey, is this Justin?
Yes, this
Hey,
is.
it's Katie. How are you? I mean, that's a silly question, but I digress. I do care.
No, I'm doing as well.
Thinking about you guys. Yeah. So what can I do for you, Justin? What's that?
I need to discuss my options of retrieving all of my belongings from Brooks.
Oh, gotcha. I gotcha. Well, it's your house, so
It's not his house.
I'm assuming that you can make whatever arrangements if you just want us to because let's just say if this were a scenario we deal with in any other case,
Ugh.
with restraining orders, there's nothing barring you from returning to your own property except for your own safety. So I can't, we don't have any jurisdiction and we don't even navigate about mutual property. So when we get restraining orders, people have to, commonly the defendant would ask it's different in this case because you may be in stow, from what I understand. But any property that's in there is between you, Kelsey, and civil courts. It doesn't have anything to do with us. We have no jurisdiction to say what can't be removed, what can be removed.
So am I able to go to the house with a bunch of fire buddies and remove my belongings?
Yes. We have no jurisdiction on that. I don't, are you in communication with her family and things like how?
No, I am in no communication with her family whatsoever.
Yeah. Do you know if they're at the house at all? That would be my only thing. If you wanted to go, if you feel like they're there, and I mean, it's your house. So truly, you can go in there anytime you please. And let's just say hypothetically they were there and they get all bent out of shape about that. What you could do is just call us for us to explain that to them.
So my only concern would be I know they're blaming me for a lot of this situation.
Yeah, I get it.
They are there. For the potential retaliation or any of the sort.
It's not his house.
So you could play it however you want it to play it. I'm going to leave that up to you. One option would be to shoot them a text or anything, and just so you know, I'm going back to the house to pick up some belongings.
They would
say no, absolutely not.
I'm pretty sure they would show up.
Yeah. Okay. So what you may want to do is just go do what you got to do. I can't keep you from there, nor would I want to. It's your house as well.
It's not his house.
Property.
So it's technically the deed is in her name.
Sure. But you're
obviously a resident of that house.
Yes, you have legal standing in there as far as
a couple of days ago.
Civil courts are concerned. You have keys, you have access. I know you live there. We know you live there. We're not going to stand in your way from collecting your property. If you go and do your thing, and just if you get there and someone's there, we can, before you even go into the house, you could call us and, meet us over at the school parking lot area and be like, they're there right now. Can you send someone by to keep the peace? And we'd be happy to do that for you. We do that all the time. Especially if the roles are reversed. If you had been asked to leave the house, we do this all the time where, the person who has resided there has a legal right to grab things.
Yeah, I'm just going to get as many friends as I can and get out of there as fast as humanly possible. Yeah,
so if you end up being there and either if they're there already, my suggestion would be to kind of head over to the parking lot of the school and we can break the ice, keep the peace, be like, hey, Justin has every right to grab his things, and you should cooperate with this because it's just why create more issues. I mean, it's not
you are creating more issues.
You live there too, with your baby and yourself for quite a bit of time. So we could break the ice first if you'd rather just do it that way and
sorry, I didn't mean to pause
hope that they're not there.
Yeah.
And then if they show up while you're there, just try to keep cool heads and just call us and we'll send someone right over to keep the peace,
Baby.
Don't even mention anything and just be like, the police will come down and we'll sort this out. I'm not trying to create any, more difficulties for any of us. And let's just call the police. They'll come down and help us, No need to butt heads. No, sometimes things get very emotional and difficult. So, but we can diffuse it a little bit If we just say, hey, just let's all hang out for a minute and we'll call the police to help us, tell us. And that's what we would say. And what we'd say to the family is, you know what, we're just trying to, you know, he has a legal right to grab what he wants out of the house. You know, he was resided here. The son's in his custody, so you got to grab the baby's things, I'm sure. So, and if there is down the road, like any dispute on property, what we would tell her, like if she says, oh, my 50-inch TV's gone, you know, he took it, we would just tell her that she'd have to take it up with probate court.
Court. Yeah, no, I just want my tools, my clothes.
Right.
I don't have any of my stuff, so.
Yeah, you have your weapons, I think. You have those,
I do,
right?
yep.
Yeah, you have all those.
I removed them all from the house the night prior.
Yeah, so that any property, we would just take a report from her and say, talk to the courts, because that's not our purview.
Okay, understood.
So if you're not going to give them if you're not going to give them a heads up, which is your right to, it's not my business to tell you what to do. That's not our jurisdiction, because you don't have an order out against you. And you have legal standing in the house. Just call us if you happen to see their car there. And we'll meet you before and break the ice with them prior, and then we'll go from there.
That's what should have happened.
And if they show up, just call us. Just say, hey, I'm trying to get some property. Can you just send someone to keep the peace?
So even though I have a temporary restraining order right now, I am still allowed to go to that house?
Yeah, the restraining order is on her. Yeah, it's not keeping you from going back. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
How's that even possible?
I appreciate it.
How does that make any sense?
Okay.
All right.
You got it, Justin. Call back if you need any help, okay?
Ugh.
And I do feel for you. And, you know, I know this is terrible, but I'm a lot of us support you, and, you know,
Kelsey's the cop here that works with this woman.
Terrible.
What the fuck?
What you're going through.
Yeah, no, it's
nightmare. And, I support you, and you're so kind to everybody. So anything you need, let me know, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yep, take care. Bye-bye.
No. Okay. Ooh, that call makes me so angry. I hate hearing that baby crying. I hate it. Let's see. This is a question I wanted to answer. This is from before. Heathland Forever said, did he arrange to meet? Did he arrange the meet at the park to make sure she didn't go to New Hampshire? I need to figure out the timing that day. I personally think he arranged for the meeting at the park and never planned to show up to meet her, because he was going to get the restraining order, and he didn't want her to find out. So he wanted her. She sat at the park for a long time. It was like an hour or something like that, and he never showed. And so I think in that time is when he went to go get the restraining order. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. And Strain's Credulity said, that's why Bradel needs to stress to the judge that Justin has incentive to lie to get her convicted, so his probate case goes in his favor, and the Commonwealth wants that too, making their bias favoring him. I'm not really sure what that comment means. I think I'm reading it wrong. Correct me. Let's see. Nefarious said the restraining order has his address as his mother's home. Yes, that's why it is. And it's not his house. I know if he were still living there and his address on the restraining order said that he was still living there, then technically it would be, he could get into that place to get his belongings. He no longer lives there. The house is not in his name, and he has listed his mother's house as his home address. He should have had a police escort to go over there, and that didn't happen. He does not have the correct keys because they changed the lock for a reason. Yeah, exactly. And it was her father who did it. Jess said, I don't think Justin knew the locks were changed until he showed up. I agree with that. He definitely didn't think the security system taken by the police had already been replaced. Yeah, that's a good point that I didn't bring up in my timeline breakdown. The police took the security system while they were there. I don't know why. But it was replaced within the next couple of days by her dad. Tina said, I can't believe that he didn't get any charges. He stole her money, health records, property, etc. Yep. I think we're all with you on that one, Tina. BB Chick, this is so disturbing how Kelsey's own coworkers are doing all this to her and helping this prick. Agreed. These are cops who she's worked with, and they know, and some of these women know what she's been through. And it's like, what are you guys fucking doing? I just, so grossed out by it. Bailey said hearing the baby cry for his mother is devastating. Agreed. It's so hard to listen to. Thanks for the $5, Strange Credulity. I really appreciate that. At this point, Justin had a key still and knew PD collected the security system for evidence. Yep. Show did. Amy said he did have a right to grab his things. He did not have a right to break down the door or enter without permission or take any of her things, I would add. D. Cools said, I'm confused about what anything the fiance did has on the case. Yes, it's gross, but is there concern he was involved? Well, what his role in the case is what triggered the day this happened. So he got this ex parte 209A restraining order. It was served on her that day. They allowed him to come inside the house, which made the situation even more stressful. And the prosecution, he's a major part of the case. The prosecution has him on their witness list, and they're saying that it's because he was in the house that she shot Noonan, which we'll get to in a minute, which is just the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Cindy Lou said, what the H happened at the bachelorette party 3 days prior for this degree of a reaction? I mean, the only thing that I can think to get somebody to act the way that he's acting right now is he's trying to get in front of bad information. That's what it feels like to me. So there might have been a big dust up. They were all drunk. There might have been a big dust up at the bachelorette party, and he might have gotten physical. I know Kelsey has said he was extremely drunk and probably high, and I think she has witnesses to that. Maybe he actually did something, and he was trying to preemptively get in front of her doing something, so his job wouldn't find out, so his community wouldn't find out. That's the way it feels to me, but I don't know. That's just me. That's conjecture. Jess said, I was surprised that the text actually showed the 2 p.m. meetup seemed to be Kelsey's idea. Justin never really said whether or not he would meet her and baby, but he used the time to get the RO. Yeah. I know it's in the text. I know that oh shit, I did that thing where I freeze up, didn't I? Sorry, guys. Hold on a second. I just wanted to find, give me a second here. Hold, please. Okay. I have the text messages. Let me see. Okay, let's put some of these up and then we'll get back to the video. This is from Boston 10. All right, I will read some of these because the screen is a little bit small. It's hard to see. Okay. Kelsey, you just woke me up to let me know I have to bring our son to work with me, ? Justin, you were not listening then. I will happily pick our son up and watch him at work. I said I didn't want to be in the house at this time. You have to respect that. You were choosing to not have me watch him and bring him to work. Kelsey, you're not a babysitter. You're his dad. How many times do women have to say that? This is our home where the 3 of us live. Justin, and by being his dad, I will watch him and pick him up if you wish. Weird. Kelsey, you're not a babysitter, Justin. You don't watch him. You can simply just come home and be home with him. You know the home where our family lives? Justin, right now, Kels, those are the options. I will and can pick him up to be with him while you are at work, but you are not choosing to bring him to work. You have to respect that I need space and time and will not be entering the house alone. Kelsey, your quote-unquote space is abandoning your family. I don't understand why you can't come in our house and you won't explain it. I will not be single parenting for days and days on end. Justin, when you strike me in the face several times and physically assault your best friends, Kels, you set the tone. I'm reacting in the best way possible to find a way forward, and this is what I need. It is not about what you need anymore. We need to be the best parents possible, and I cannot do that in the house at this time. Kelsey, just not even true, but okay. Abandon your son, thumbs up emoji. I forgot everything that comes out of women's names, that's redacted, mouth is the truth, right? Good luck to you. So just to reiterate, he said, when you strike me in the face several times and physically assault your best friends. And Kelsey said, that's not even true. So if that is not true, if there are witnesses to say that's not what happened, and he went and got a restraining order on that information, that's fucked up. Anyway. And then Justin says, and redacted and redacted and redacted are all lying. I assume there should have been a question mark there. Kelsey, you're missing valuable days with your son you will never get back by your own choosing. You're making me a single mother by your own choosing. I'm rescheduling our son's surgery right now. I will not be doing this alone. Answer the phone. Sad that you let your feelings toward me affect your son. Poor kid. The purest, innocent soul gets affected because you won't help me fast him. Fast him. I'm not sure what that means. Would you like to tour his daycare with me? Justin, no. My son has offered free daycare. My son has offered free daycare? We do not have $500 a week for daycare. Kelsey, he's going to daycare. Don't worry about the money. It's taken care of. Justin, who's paying for it? Kelsey, doesn't matter. Do you want to tour it with me or not? Justin, well, it does matter. Kelsey, it doesn't. If you want to come, great. If you don't, great. Justin, you want to place a 4-month-old into daycare? Kelsey, I am. Yes. Do you want me to pack your stuff and move it out? I'm going to have to sell my house and find an apartment. Justin, I need my debit card and license you took right now. That's it. Kelsey, don't have it. Why would I have that? I'll leave all your stuff outside. I have to put my house on the market. Justin, please do not touch my belongings. Kelsey, I can't risk being in a situation I can't afford because you have told people you are leaving, but haven't told me. Justin, who on earth have I told that? Who on earth have I told that to? You keep making things up. Kelsey, not me, that's for sure. Oh, really? I made that up? Okay. If you're leaving me, you need to tell me so I can figure out my life. Not tell others. Tell me. Justin, I need space and time right now. I don't have a plan. I just know I need space and time. Kelsey, okay, that tells me nothing. After your space and time, are you leaving? Because I need to come up with a plan. You're not going to leave me in the dark on my own life. Okay, that's fine, Justin. Don't answer me. I'll put your stuff outside in boxes, of course, get an attorney and sell the house. I'm not going to be set up. This is my life. Am I paying our venue the $6K or should I hold off? I have $6K waiting to send them. This is interesting because he takes $5,000 out of the house in cash. And she says, I have $6K waiting to send them. It's due July 4th. If I send it, we cannot get a refund. We can't get a refund on anything. Would you like me to send it or hold off? Justin says, only $1,500 was left to pay, and I sent you that already. So I would love to know, because Justin says that $5,000 was his, and it sounds like Kelsey's saying she has it to send, but then he's saying, Justin, only $1,500 was left to pay, and I sent you that already. Kelsey said, so what am I doing? Justin said, I think we are under contract to pay it regardless. Can you send me the contract? Kelsey, no, I don't have it. Regardless, if I talk to Redacted, I'm sure he will let me keep the money. Do you want me to send it or not? Justin, not yet. I don't know. Kelsey, laughing, crying emoji. Tells me everything I need to know. Thank you. I'll send it to my parents now for their troubles and call Redacted's name today. Justin, Kelsey, that's not what I'm saying. I don't have any answers today. Kelsey, just hold me for it's not due till the 4th. Kelsey, I'll meet you at the Common at 2 p.m. Justin, for what? Kelsey, what do you mean for what? On the phone, you said we can meet up in public or go for a walk. I'll see you at the Common at 2 with our son. Justin, Kelsey, I have no debit card, no license. My gas tank is empty and could get money this morning to drive to get our son, but Redacted and Redacted are both gone. Can we meet tomorrow instead unless Redacted comes home and I can get some money for gas? Kelsey, you don't have enough gas to get here? I haven't gone through any of my bags yet besides my purse, and many of my explicative was stolen as well. I will look in the other bags. I didn't even bother touching it because some substance was poured all over it that smells really bad. I will look once I get the courage to go down to the basement. Justin, the less than 50 miles light was on before I grabbed my truck last night, so there's could be 5 miles or 20, but I have nothing and no way to get there. And Redacted is at work and Redacted is out with the doctor's stuff all day, she said this morning. Kelsey, okay, I'll give you the money in the drawer. I'm going to work now. I'll see you at the Common at 2 with our son. Justin, I don't have gas to get there, Kels. You took my debit card and ID and did God knows what with it. Kelsey, Justin, I was chaotically packing bags. I didn't mean to take anything. Justin, but you still did. Kelsey, my bag has stuff stolen out of it, and my other bag has something poured all over it, causing every piece of my clothing to be soaked. I will look through that one right now, then I'm going to work. Justin, why didn't you tell me to come over at 10 then for this kiddo if you were going to work now? Kelsey, because I wanted to sleep. I didn't sleep last night. Why does it matter? I decided to change it to 12:30. In the very bottom of my soaked bag are your toiletries, boxers, and cards. Sorry I got my bag at 10 p.m. last night and just bawled because my clothes are all ruined. My stuff was stolen. I didn't even go through it all the way. I don't know what you're talking about. Quote, can I see you tomorrow instead? Quote, you literally work tomorrow. I will see you at 2. Justin, shoot, I forgot work. Kelsey, question mark? Justin, I have no way of getting to town. Kelsey, yes, you do. Hello, Justin. Am I seeing you at 2 or not? What the fuck? Justin, Kelsey, I have no gas. I physically cannot go anywhere. I'm looking for change around the house and there is none. Kelsey, how'd you have enough gas to not be home right now then? I can't go into work. I'm done. Answer the phone. So you're out. That's why you won't come see me. I'm done. I'm driving up to the land. I'm going to my land. Where are you, Justin? Justin, what's going on? I'm worried. I'm really worried. Justin, are you okay? Why are you at redacted with your sister? What is going on? I thought I was meeting you at the common. What is going on? What is going on? I'm literally shaking. Why are you with girls at redacted's house? We were supposed to go for a walk with our son. What the expletive, sorry, is happening? I'm throwing up. Why are you with redacted? What is going on? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me, Justin? Why are you doing this to me? What are you actually doing to me? Why are you with redacted? There's some jealousy going on here. This is another woman's name. And it's just a lot. I just need you to communicate with me. This is not fair. You made a plan with me. Making plans with me and your son and ghosting me is just so mean. I'm going far away for a long, long time. You could have at least told me you changed your mind instead of standing me up and making me wait at the common for 2 hours. Just really mean. Also crazy for you to just read all my texts, know how upset this made me. You don't love or care about me. This is so mean. Why wouldn't you just tell me you changed your mind instead of stand me up? If you drove there with redacted, you clearly had no intention of going for a walk with me or your son. Why would you make plans with us? I packed his diaper bag and stroller and blanket for us to sit on, just to be stood up. Why be mean about it? Why not just say, sorry, not happening anymore, changed my mind? Like you called me saying you were on your way to North Andover. Your mom gave you money and you would see me at 2. What the fuck happened since that phone call? That's really important. You called me saying you were on your way to North Andover. Your mom gave you money and you would see me at 2. What the fuck happened since that phone call? So yes, I agree. Kelsey is the one who was like, I'll meet you in the park. Although he did mention before this text exchange that he wanted to meet up and go for a walk. It sounds like he then called her and said he was on his way there. His mother gave him money for gas. Jesus Christ. And then what the fuck happened since his phone call? If you're trying to hurt me, you're succeeding. I would assume she says fucking hurt. I just want to know why you made plans with me and our son and stood us up. Why couldn't you have just said, never mind to me, not have me wait and wait and wait at the common for you, ignoring the mother of your child and fiance? I don't get it. I really don't. You made it very clear I'm not your family. I will pack your belongings and put it outside for you to retrieve. I'll let you know when it's all outside. Need to get some people to help me move it all. You didn't have to lie to me and say you were meeting me. You didn't have to lead me on to think we were going for a walk. I don't know what that did for you. Why didn't you just tell me? Why did you have me sitting at the park alone with our son waiting? You knew the only way from the station to the park is to drive by Hunters. If you did this to hurt me, it worked. I told our son we were going to see daddy. You're not just hurting me. And for you to this point to still give me nothing and say nothing. You set up this huge plan to make me think my son and I were going to meet for a walk, and then you ghosted me. I hope you know that hurts a lot more than just me. You ditched seeing your son. Like, why? Why couldn't you have just said to me that you never had any intentions of seeing us? I sat and waited at the park until his bottle ran out and had nothing more to give him. Why couldn't you have just called me and said you changed your mind? Why do it like this? And you're not going to say your phone is in the truck because when you click on your messages, it shows you read it. You're mean. You wanted a reaction from me. You won't get one. I'm on my way up to my land for the night. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm so explicative of a person that you couldn't even see your son smile today. We're going to our happy place. I'll send pictures when I get service. And then the police showed up with a restraining order and she was shot in the chest and her baby was taken away from her. Wow. So yeah, it looks to me like Justin was like, "Hey, let's go for a walk. Let's talk about this. Let's blah blah blah." And so she's like, "Great, I'll meet you at the park at 2 with our baby." And then they have a telephone conversation where he says, "I'm on my way to North Andover. My mommy gave me money for gas, and I'll meet you at 2." And then he never shows up because he had no intention of going to the park. He was going to get the restraining order. I mean, the fact that he was like, "Kels, I can't do this because I don't have any gas. I don't have any gas. I don't have any gas." How was he planning to get to work? How was he planning to get to the police station, the police department, or the court, or wherever he needed to go to file for the restraining order? Ugh. Anyway, let me look at these. Oh, fasting for surgery prep. That's what the fasting. I was like, where is this fasting coming from? VB Chick said, "Gotta drive now, so I won't clog the chat with my rage typing. Ha, nice to meet with everyone. Glad you were here. Come back." He put that in the text to make it look bad. You think so, Amy? I mean, yeah, probably. I feel like he has like all kinds of ulterior motives. He needed another woman. Wait. Coco and Chloe said he needed another woman he was with, rumor has it. Yeah, I'm like, who's this lady? She's like, oh, you can go to this person's house. Ugh. There's some Karen Reed vibes there with probably less screamy, but Heathland forever. If I can read between the lines, his mom wanted to watch the baby instead of daycare, and she didn't want that. I wouldn't want that either, based on what I'm seeing from his family. I think Cindy Lou said that they think the 5K is from the grandma for the baby. As far as I understood it, the 5K was the deposit for their venue for the wedding, and they both contributed to it. So I don't know. That's what I've heard, but I don't know if that's true or not. She comes across as a sane one in these texts. Yeah, I would say Coco and Chloe says she comes across as sane in the sane one in these texts. I would agree to some extent. She sounds very hurt. It sounds very much like what I would probably say if my fiance was doing this to me, but yeah. These texts are so tame compared to what I expected when the Commonwealth said they wanted them in. She was very calm for the situation. Yeah, the Commonwealth portrayed her as very angry, and I didn't see her as angry. Yeah. Okay. Let me get to. I bet he was lying about the empty gas. Nefarious said, he might have been. I don't know. But how did he get to work? How was he getting to work? You know? Yeah. Shauna said, I hate everything she and the baby had to go through, but thank God their relationship is over. He's toxic as fuck. I just hope that she doesn't go to prison over all this. That's my big concern. Okay. Let's get back to. Well, I will ask you guys. So we have 2 more pieces of 911 audio. And one of them is they're both about 4-ish minutes long. Do you guys wanna listen to the rest of the 911 calls, or do you wanna move on to the hearing that happened today? Because I've only got about 20 more minutes here, so tell me what you want. And I will go through some of these chats. Defense Diary. So D Lawyer Life. Hello, love. Good to see you. Defense Diaries has unredacted versions, though they had technical difficulties reading all of them. But I wonder if there's another woman or if it's all his mom. He's clearly a mama's boy, or his sister. His sister, when I heard her on the phone, I was like, ugh, gross. Gross, gross, gross. Yeah. Joelle said, Justin said he was happy to take it to the next level with Kelsey's dad if there was no detail sent. Work the visit before, gunshot and all. Great. Okay. I'm going to go by numbers of people who want what they want. So right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, it looks like, for hearings, and 1, 2, 3 for calls. So let's go to the hearing because I do want to get to that. If we have time, we'll go back to the calls. There's about 8 minutes left of the calls. And I wanted to play you a couple of clips from the hearing. So let me make sure I have this one queued up. Yeah, I think I do. Okay. North Andover. North Andover. Okay. So what we're going to listen to right now, this is actually about the text messages we just read. So I think you'll find this interesting. This is what the judge had to say. This is how the Commonwealth pitched it. Like this is the motion in limine they filed. And this is one of the female DAs getting up and pitching it to the judge. And the judge is like, what? Why do you, what? So you will hear it in a moment. If I can get this to play.
Okay. So really, I don't have anything else. There is Commonwealth filed a motion. So is that something that you want to do before we break? Does that make sense?
Yeah, the Commonwealth filed a motion in limine on Friday, I believe.
Can you guys hear it?
Or over the weekend, sorry. The Commonwealth filed a motion in limine seeking to admit a number of text messages between the defendant and her ex-fiancé, Mr. O'Lane. The text messages that we would seek to introduce span the day of the shooting, so just the day of.
I'm sorry, just let me interrupt.
I'm trying. That's about as loud as I can get it to go.
Setting it up for the record. So you're referring to paper 82, which is the Commonwealth's motion to eliminate to admit the defendant's text messages from the day of the assault. I did have some trouble reading them, but then I was given a better
copy. As loud as it gets.
Let me just ask, just yes or no, Mr. Bradle. Is there an objection to the motion?
There is.
Okay. All right. So now I'll hear you. Thank you.
So the Commonwealth suggests that the one thing that I think everyone can agree upon in this case is that the defendant's state of mind on June 30th, 2025 is the most relevant issue before the jury. And what more insight into the defendant's state of mind on the question can we get than her text messages with Mr. O'Lane? I would suggest the Commonwealth is not seeking to admit over the weekend, over a period of time, but literally it is from the morning of June 30th through the afternoon, approximately sometime after 2 o'clock.
It's, yeah, she's got such a low voice.
Generally,
no, it's, I don't think so. It's Boston. Maybe it does.
Angry, upset, at times
no.
And clearly,
no CC available.
having a conflict with Mr. O'Lane.
So I can tell you guys what's going on though. The judge is much louder. It's a little bit easier to hear him. So basically they're saying that she appears really angry, right? And then this is the argument. The judge is like, so let me understand your theory. What you're saying is that it goes to KELSEY FITZSIMMONS' state of mind in text messages between KELSEY and Justin. They are relevant because KELSEY is angry, upset, and despondent. And they're arguing it goes to KELSEY's anger toward Justin not being at the house. She's trying to get him back to the house, which is consistent with the Commonwealth theory. Ready for this, guys? This is the bombshell. The Commonwealth theory is that KELSEY shot Noonan because she heard Justin was in the house in the basement and reacted to it. Does that make any sense to anybody? Does that make sense to anybody? Let me try to get to the judge's reaction because you can actually hear what he has to say. But I was like, wait, what? What are you saying? That doesn't make any sense, y'all. Oh my God.
All right. So just setting it up for the record. So you're referring to paper 82, which is the Commonwealth's motion to eliminate to admit the.
You guys hear the judge?
Messages from the day of the assault. I did have some trouble reading them, but then I was given a better copy. But let me just ask, just yes or no, Mr. Bradle. Is there an objection to the motion?
There is.
Okay. All right. So now I'll hear you. Thank you.
I don't like Bradel's argument
that,
either, just so you know.
one thing that I think everyone can agree upon in this case is that the defendant's state of
Okay,
mind
this is her argument.
I'm sorry, are you saying that it's the Commonwealth's theory that Ms. Fitzsimmons heard Mr. O'Leary in the house and then reacted to it, or?
That's one of the Commonwealth theories, yes. And I think the testimony would be something to the effect of,
Yeah.
the defendant said, keep him away from me.
Like in this exchange in the bedroom or near the bedroom or whatever?
Yes.
All right. I'm sorry, anything else?
No, I don't know.
Okay, so I don't know if you could hear what she just said, but she says that Kelsey says to Noonan in the bedroom, keep him away from me, meaning Justin. That is not, it doesn't, in the realm of all possibilities, Kelsey shooting Noonan because she's upset that Justin's here and she wants Justin to stay away from her. It just doesn't make sense. What is the Commonwealth doing here? Yeah, no, he basically did say, Jess says, the judge just wants to say what now, Commonwealth? Yeah, he basically is like, so let me get this straight. Your theory of the case is this. And they're like, yeah, that's basically it. You got it right, Judge. Thank you. No logical leap there, Coco and Chloe. Exactly. Bradel should be wanting these admitted for sure. It's interesting. You would think he would want them admitted. He doesn't. He argues against it. I think Bradel's loud enough so you could probably hear what he has to say. It's a weird argument to me. I feel like he's playing some games here, and I don't like it. I think that, and I don't mean that like he's, I don't think he's being nefarious. Why would I say nefarious? I don't think that he's being like weird about it in that way. What I think he's trying to, like, this legal strategy he has is to try to keep this case clean and simple. And so he doesn't want to bring all the other stuff into it. At the end of the day, what his argument is that basically he agrees that these text messages, because the judge is like, hey, I think these text messages are actually good for you. And Bradel's like, yeah, I agree with that. They are good for us. But what they do is they open a can of worms, basically. And it seems like the Commonwealth wants to open all these doors where they can, trudge through those doors and go down Kelsey's history with her exes, which I understand why that could be very messy. And it's more prejudicial than it is probative. But it's just it's kind of a weak argument. And I don't know why he wouldn't want them to come in. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but we can listen to a little bit of what he has to say. And then the judge actually rules on this at the bench. And he basically is like, this doesn't feel prejudicial to me. It's more probative. They redact a couple of lines at the beginning and that's about it. And then he's going to let them in. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to hurt the defense at all, in my opinion. If I heard this, well, there's no jury. So the judge is already familiar with all this stuff.
In the case for relevancy, and it's not a rational connection to say that because Kelsey was supposedly mad at Justin on this day, that
I don't think she was mad. I think she was hurt.
North Andover.
There's a difference.
It's like if I'm mad at Charlie for Mass Live for reporting, and then I run into the Law Girls later on.
Oh, this was so strange. Bradel like name dropped the Law Girls.
Do anything bad to the Law Girls because I'm mad at Charlie.
You must be the Law Girls. I am not on social media or so yeah. Don't assume I know who the folks are, but welcome. And you refer to another member of the media?
Yes. This is the Law Girls. They have their own.
Oh my God. They're going to get flooded. Okay. So basically, I mean, they just go on about this. He redacts some of it. He's going to allow them in. There were two other things that happened in the trial today that were very, very interesting. And I will show you what they are in just a moment. Couple of comments. D Cool says the texts have nothing to do with the crime alleged. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it's I just think it's and actually I agree with what Cindy Lou said. I was just about to say this. The Commonwealth wants to muddle it. They want to muddy the water because clean facts leads to an acquittal. I agree with that. And then TC Nerd said, is this the Lally team from this county? Seems like it, doesn't it? Okay, so the next thing that happened in the hearing today is they discussed the the DA, the Commonwealth, wanted to put on the record a conflict that they saw. And so let's hear what they have to say about that. Hopefully it'll be loud enough. I think the male DA is a little bit louder.
I would say most of it is probably abundance of caution stuff that probably they won't be called. There's one thing on there that I did.
The point that hasn't come up yet, but Joelle says, why was Justin there? Why no DFS? No official should be behind this, including the judge. Agreed. I've been asking why CPS or DFS, whatever. Okay, let's listen to this point.
No, I just, if I may put something on the record as far as the jury waiver goes.
This is ridiculous.
I was going to ask, all right, so we have a waiver. I was going to ask whether the Commonwealth takes a position. So
my only position,
Oh.
well, I have no reservation.
How nice is that audio?
With your ability to be fair and impartial. In an abundance of caution, I wanted to create a record. At some point, I don't think it was last hearing or one of the press conferences that defense gave outside.
Oh, one of the press conferences. What a douche.
Asked about you, and Attorney Bradel told them and the world that he worked together in the DA's office some time ago.
Okay.
And so,
so if you haven't noticed what's going on here, at the very last minute, this is the last hearing before the trial on Monday. This DA with the Commonwealth is trying to put on the record that they think there's an appearance of a conflict of interest between the judge and Bradel. And I'm like, are you friggin' kidding me? This is insane. And they're acting like, he's trying to say it with like a flat sort of calm voice. Like, oh, one of those times when he was out talking to the press, like, because they hate it when the defense attorneys talk to the press. They hate that because it gives it gives their clients more access and people get to see and hear more about the case. I get it, but I'm like, okay, let's stop with the digs. Don't be a douchebag. But anyway, this is what he says, and the judge is going to respond to it, and so is Bradel in real time.
There's a perception out there for whatever it is.
Wait, I just want to say one other thing. One of the reasons why I think that they're doing this is because I don't know if you all listened or saw the hearing when this judge was put on the case for the first time and how happy Bradel was. And he kept saying, I'm so happy you're here. We're so thankful that, you are doing this case. Thank you, kind of thing. It feels to me like this is the DA just sort of trying to make it seem like Bradel is so happy because he has a good relationship with the judge. I mean, fuck off.
That the defendant had put out there. Like I said, I have no reservations, as is your ability to be fair and impartial, but I think I need to create a record about that.
Oh, that's a very good point. So, I don't, let me say this. I said before when I was joking with our media representatives, I don't pay attention to social media. I'm not on social media purposely. I don't read or listen to or watch or whatever media accounts of what happens in cases that I preside over or that I potentially could be involved in. So I know nothing about that, but I think it does make sense for me to say a couple things related to that.
Do it, Judge.
Because it strikes me that I did discuss those things with you folks, but I did it at sidebar. All right, so I'll just say for the record that Mr. Bradel and I, so we worked together. Well, Mr. Bradel and I were in the same starting class of new assistant DAs.
This guy talks so slow.
Of 95. Mr. Bradel, I have a picture of all of us, including Mr. Hagan, Judge Hagan, who like me back then had a lot more here. So Mr. Bradel and I were in that starting class together. My memory is that I was assigned ultimately after the class. I think we met for a couple of weeks. We were a training class. I was assigned to Roxbury District Court and Mr. Bradel to Dorchester District Court. And so that was 95. I left the DA's office in 2001, and at that time I was the chief of the domestic violence unit, which was Superior Court unit. So Mr. Bradel, you can correct me. I don't think that we ever worked together in the sense
This is so ridiculous.
Courthouse worked on the same trial team. I'm not sure that you and I ever even had a beer together back then.
I agree, Judge. I don't recall one, and I think that I put you kind of in the same boat as Judge Deacon down in Middlesex, where we always had a respectful cordiality at work, but nothing past that. And I appeared in front of Judge Deacon, and never been a problem. And I left the office in 06, so I was there for 5 more years after you. And I haven't seen you in probably over a decade. And I think the comment that Commonwealth Counsel was referring to, I recall as just sort of a generic comment that I thought your rulings were fair and that we appreciated your rulings, that I'd known you a long time, something to that effect.
Yeah, I don't think that Mr. Rubertosi was objecting. You just wanted to make sure that this trial, I've always
just want to put it on the record, just to muddy the waters even more.
Proceedings, whether it's this case or other cases, there's a level of transparency, and I think Mr. Rubertosi's point is well taken. So I think I've described on the record what nature.
Yeah. He's not going to recuse himself. I don't think he should. I think it's just another thing the Commonwealth is going to try to do. It's very Hank Brennan. It's very ugly. There's no reason to, I mean, sure, bring it up and put it on the record. Ugh, but it's like, but they did it in the context of, well, when he was talking to the press, one of those times, blah, 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 So anyway, judge is probably going to stay on the case. I don't think I'm worried about that. Leah said, I can't believe not one of Kelsey's coworkers even asked how she was doing while on the phone with Justin. Yeah, I had that thought too, Leah. And then I thought, oh no, they really can't, because if they ask how she's doing or they show her any sympathy, those tapes will be used in court to show that maybe they believe her, or they're not towing the line. They're not towing that blue line, and they're on the side of the cops who shot Kelsey. And she's just a crazy woman. She's just, a lady out there with her weak arms and her postpartum depression, and she's going around shooting or pointing her gun at cops. It's just like, poor Justin. Ugh. Yeah. So, yeah. That's what happened. And then one of the other major things that happened today is that Kelsey actually took the stand because she had to say that she had to have it explained to her what it means for her to have a bench trial. I think we should listen to that really quick. It's only like a minute, or it's only a couple minutes, but just to make sure she understands what's going on. All right. This is when Kelsey takes the stand. Looks great. Love the suit. Love the black on black. Good hair. Big glasses.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Martha Coakley standing right next to her.
You can put yourself right up to that mic. So as you know, I'm Jeff Karp, and I'm a judge here at the Superior Court.
I love Martha Coakley.
You'd like to give up your right to have a jury decide whether you're guilty or not guilty of the charge. I need to just ask you some questions to make sure that you understand the right that you're giving up and you're doing it voluntarily, okay? And then you know what the consequences are. Now, so I'm going to have a lot of questions for you. If at any time you don't understand something that I say to you, it's perfectly fine to interrupt me and tell me I don't understand. If at any time you'd like to take a break and speak with Attorney Coakley, we can give you that opportunity. We're in no rush here. It's very important that you understand all that I tell you, yeah, okay? All right, so the first thing I'd like to do is, where's the indictment, Mr. Boyd? Grab that. So you understand that you're charged in a single indictment with the crime of assault by means of a dangerous weapon. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And do you
Assault with a
understand
dangerous
that,
weapon.
have you discussed with your attorneys what the Commonwealth needs to prove at the trial for that charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you feel as though you understand what they told you about that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand that that charge, assault by means of a dangerous weapon, carries up to 5 years in state prison if you're convicted?
Yes.
Okay.
5 years in state prison if she's convicted. Up to.
And Attorney Coakley,
she should get probation if she's convicted, because she's never had an offense like this.
With Ms. Fitzsimmons?
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
Okay. All right, so I need to just ask you some background questions, get some background information. Some of this I already know, but I still need to, I need to ask you formally. So if you could state your full name.
Kelsey Erin Fitzsimmons.
And how old are you?
I'm 29.
What is Just your
baby.
month and year of birth.
11/18, November 18.
And where were you born?
Concord, Mass.
How far
Concord.
did you go in school?
I got my bachelor's degree and I went to half of law school.
Okay. You went
Half of law school.
I did
half of
half.
law school? That's enough. Was that enough for you?
No, I'm gonna go back.
Oh, she's gonna go back to law school. Yeah, she is. Let's do it, Kelsey.
You've got a bachelor's degree in what?
In criminal justice.
Criminal justice, and where from?
Where am I from?
No, where did you get
Oh,
the
I'm
bachelor's
sorry.
degree?
I'm nervous. I'm sorry. Fisher College in Boston.
Okay, all right, and totally understandable that you're nervous. All right, and again, some of this I know, but I have to ask, what are you? You can't be presently working, right? You're not working.
No, you're
Right. And your last job was with?
patrol officer with the North Andover Police Department.
Okay, and how long were you there, roughly?
About a year and a half, if you count the academy.
Okay, so you went to the police academy, and
Yes.
then, okay, what else? And just normal job duties as a patrol officer in North Andover?
Respond to 911 calls, emergencies, medical emergencies, calls for.
So anyway, we don't need to go in through all this. I mean, he's basically explaining to her,
Prescription
you know, like how significant it is that she's asking for a bench trial as opposed to a jury trial. I believe she should. I think this was the right call, in my opinion. I think that a jury in this case, it's far too emotional. There's a cop and a firefighter and another cop. I mean, the case itself is between two cops. And so it's going to come down to which cop you believe. And I think that a jury is going to be far too emotional in a case like this, because we're all emotional about it. You know, we have all of our opinions. We're representative of juries. So yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think it means the case is probably only going to go on for like at the most 3 days next week. We'll see. I don't know if I can do a poll in here. I don't think I can. Tell me in the chat comment whether you would rather see me sit through court like this all day and stream it, or if you would rather we recap it at the end of the day. Let me know what you think, what you would prefer. TC Nerd said, so how closely aligned are the free Karen Reed and free Kelsey Fitzsimmons communities? I won't be able to decide until the coven tells me what the McAlberts think. You would be very surprised. I assumed that they were all going to be on the same page. I assumed everyone was going to be behind Kelsey, but I was very wrong. It seems to me like the free Karen Reed people are on the side of Kelsey, and the anti-Karen Reed people are not on the side of Kelsey. I think Kate Peter has been, maybe Kate Peter, I'm not really sure. One of the big anti-Karen Reed people has been tweeting a lot about Kelsey in this case, and they're not aligned. So Kitty on the beach said, I am making a bolognese sauce and ran out of red wine, so found a bottle of cooking wine and just tasted it, and I can't believe Justin would drink this shit. What Kitty on the beach is referencing are the allegations in the last filing from Kelsey, which is the last thing I'm going to get into today. We're going a little bit long, but please like the video. I only plan to do this for 2 hours. We're going over 2 hours. I have to record again, or I have to stream again at 7 p.m. for Newslight. So I'm pushing it a little bit right now. I haven't seen the family. I haven't made any dinner. I'm usually in charge of dinner. So do me a solid, like the video. Okay. So everyone, it looks like recaps. Okay. I like the recaps. Okay. Sounds good. We will do that. Well, it's probably just going to be me. Like I said, Rebecca's going to be out of town next week. Okay. I have to pull something over that I have open. I need you to move over there, friend. Go all the way. Go all the way over. Okay. That's not working. All right, maybe I can read it while it's on the screen. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to go over with you, because this is the newest filing, we went over this a little bit. We kind of touched on it the other day when Rebecca and I were talking about what was going on, but we didn't really get into it. So I wanted that now. All right, let me pull this up over here. Okay, so this isn't going to take us very long. This is the last filing that Oh, Cindy Lou, I appreciate you too. Don't drink the cooking wine for dinner. Wait, Shauna says, let me change my answer to recap, but pop in during the day for maybe an hour or two live. That's a great idea. Maybe I'll do that. That seems more manageable for me. So maybe I will do that. Okay. So this is the trial court. This is Essex County, Justin versus Kelsey. So this is the family court. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is the only place where we're actually seeing Justin's behavior. We've only seen Kelsey's behavior in the restraining order. This is where Kelsey lays out what it was like to live with Justin and what his habits were. So I'm going to go through this really quickly, and then I definitely am going to have to sign off. I, KELSEY FITZSIMMONS, hereby depose and state under oath. 1, I am the defendant in the above captioned matter and the mother of baby C, herein after child or son. Plaintiff Justin Ilayan is the father of the child. Justin and I lived together at 125 Phillipsburg Road, North Andover, between March. While I'm here, I just want to do one little thing. Oh, where'd I go? Where'd it go? Hey, come back. Oh my God. Where did my whole desktop go? That is annoying. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry. I know this is annoying. 125. Can somebody in the chat, can I ask you guys a favor? Because I want to keep reading this and I want to keep it moving along. Can someone in the chat go look up the bedroom in 125 Phillipsburg Road, North Andover, Mass. 01845. I want to see what the bedroom. I've seen the pictures, but I couldn't find them, and I can't focus like that while this is the address. I'm putting it in the chat. Oh, I can't put the address in the chat. I'll say it again. 125 Brooks Road. North Andover, Mass. 01845. If you guys can pull up a picture, just send me the link and I will try to pop it up so we can look at that bedroom before we go. Can we get Justin invitations if we hit 100? I don't know if I can do his voice, TC Nerd. I don't know. Maybe. I could do some Higgy for sure. Okay, so number 4, I sold my home at 125 Phillips Brooks Road, North Andover, Mass. 01845 on November 7th, 2025. I've been our son's primary caregiver from his birth until June 30th, 2025, when Justin served a 209A on me in my own home. I took maternity leave to care for our son immediately after his birth, made the appointment for his pediatric visits, attended the same, grocery shop for our family, woke with our son during the night, breastfed him, clothed him, and ensured his safety. Not a single provider has had concerns about my attention or caregiving or safety of my son with me. On December 23rd, 2025, I was released on bail from Western Massachusetts Regional Women's Correctional Center, pending a criminal trial on a charge of 1 count of assault with a dangerous weapon in Essex County Superior Court. I do not believe it is in my son's best interest for Justin to have sole custody due to Justin's use and abuse of drugs and alcohol, and because I am a loving, competent mother who should be involved with the decisions of our son jointly. I have witnessed Justin obtaining and snorting Adderall. In one such instance on Christmas Eve in 2024 at Justin's parents' house, when I was pregnant with my son, Justin obtained Adderall from his cousin Michael. Oh, Michael, you're in trouble, buddy. I saw Justin snort the Adderall through a straw in a bathroom that connects to a kitchen where I was standing. Justin admitted to me that he obtains approximately 10 Adderall pills from his cousin Michael every time he sees him, which is approximately 5 times per year. I am prescribed Ativan to treat my anxiety. On at least 15 occasions, Justin would take one of my prescription Ativan pills when he was hungover, as he believed it alleviated the symptoms of a hangover. I witnessed Justin taking acid. Justin's dropping acid in the summer of 2024. Unbeknownst to me, Justin kept a tab of acid wrapped in tinfoil in our refrigerator for months. On that occasion in 2024, when Justin was not working, I witnessed Justin remove the tinfoil package from the fridge and put it into his mouth. Justin informed me that it was acid when I asked what he was doing. I have witnessed Justin smoking marijuana, and I have recently come across video surveillance where he smoked marijuana at our home. I found over 100 such videos. Justin told me that he took hallucinogenic mushrooms with his brother, Brendan, in 2024. Brendan has a civilian position in the Air Force, and he is randomly drug tested. As a result, Brendan does drugs with Justin at the beginning of his trips, usually last 2 weeks, when Brendan knows the drugs will be out of his system before the next test. Justin told mother that he and Brendan microdosed after a getaway in the winter of 2024. Justin is a frequent customer of the Mellow Dispensary in Haverhill, Massachusetts. Even though Justin is not permitted to use marijuana products in any form due to his job as a North Andover firefighter, Justin would often ask me for cash. Justin never has cash. Maybe he should have asked mommy for cash to go to the Mellow Dispensary in Haverhill. Oh my God. Justin would often ask me for cash or take money from the ATM, so there was no financial trail of him buying marijuana. At times, Justin would purchase marijuana from Mellow Dispensary while mother is Kelsey, while Kelsey and her son were waiting in the car. Justin would frequently smoke marijuana at our house, and there was a plethora of marijuana paraphernalia, including but not limited to a grinder, a blunt, and a pre-roll found in the basement. Justin would typically purchase pre-rolls from Mellow Dispensary on Thursdays because that's when they had a sale on pre-rolls. I'm going to start paraphrasing a little bit. I also have serious concerns that Justin is an alcoholic. I've witnessed Justin drinking alcohol almost every night during our relationship, with his beverage of choice being, you guys ready for this? He should be shamed out of the fire department because of this. His beverage of choice being 1 or 2 Tall Boy Voodoo Ranger beers, which is 19 ounces with a 9.5% ABV, and one or 2 nips of Jack Daniels and or, oh, this makes me cringe, root beer flavored McGillicuddy. That's so gross. On other instances, Justin would drink a whole bottle of wine I would obtain at my mother's house after Sunday dinner, which we had weekly. During Christmas of 2024, both my father and my stepfather gifted Justin bottles of whiskey. Both bottles were gone in less than 2 weeks. That's a lot of whiskey. That's a lot of whiskey, Justin. And I recall this because my father came over during that time and asked Justin to share a glass of whiskey he had gifted Justin, but Justin informed my father the whiskey was gone, friend. That whiskey is long gone. I've witnessed Justin's hands shaking on numerous occasions. That is a sign of alcoholism. Justin has told me his hands are also shake at work, which he attributes to alcohol withdrawal. As a result, Justin has told me he often needs to drink the cooking wine at the firehouse in order to stop the shaking. The cooking wine. This is what we were just talking about before. Justin takes swigs of the cooking wine. This is not funny. Alcoholism is a very serious thing. And folks who feel like they need to drink things like cooking wine to get their hands to stop shaking, Justin needs help. He should go get help. And to me, these are all the signs that he does have a drinking problem. But anyway, I'll leave it there. While I was pregnant with my son, Justin would drink to excess at every family event or get-together we attended, including at our joint bachelorette event in Maine in June of 2025. At that event, Justin was intoxicated and kept drinking after I went upstairs to sleep. He refused to sleep to keep partying. We got into an argument stemming from Justin wanting to do more drugs. I left hours later to go home without him. So that is what Kelsey says the fight that they got into, this physical altercation, if it was that, it started because Justin was wanting to do drugs and she didn't want him to, and she had the baby and she was trying to sleep and blah, blah, blah. On Mother's Day 2025, I took a video of Justin screaming at me while he was drunk. During the course of that day, as a result of his excessive drinking, Justin fell in the shower in the bedroom and while walking up the stairs. So that is what Kelsey is alleging in family court about Justin's behavior. So I think there's a lot. There's a lot to that. You know what I mean? Mel, what's for dinner? Ooh, we are doing full-on carnitas tonight. My partner, Lindsay, slow cooked pork yesterday. We're doing carnitas. I can't wait. I'm starving. Can't wait to eat some carnitas. Per Google, Ativan can be used for alcohol withdrawal. Is he 15? Jelly Tot says. Yeah, right? I mean, he's a total, I don't know. he sounds like he sounds like that's how he acts based on those phone calls. The baby is in danger with Justin, in my opinion, Coco and Chloe said. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, and I did tell you guys earlier that Justin has been put on administrative leave with pay. And Jess is saying purely my speculation, but guessing the NAFD, North Andover Fire Department, using the smoking as an excuse to suspend, but are more concerned with the possible alcoholism. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And he wants sole custody. Yes, he does, Cindy. He wants sole custody. Rehab may be the only way to save his job. Yeah, Tina, this is a good point. I said it before and I'll say it again. Weak men are terrified of strong, independent women and will do anything and everything to keep us down. They will never accept us. I believe you. I am a lesbian, so I don't have to deal with men not allowing me to be who I am, but it sounds awful. And I don't like the way the gaslighting and all the shit and his family being involved and his sisters, and he's a mama's boy. And I mean, I've seen that before. It grosses me out. Yeah. A lot of narcissists do this, and he seems like a narcissist to me, in my opinion. Everything he accuses Kelsey for sounds like he's doing. Yeah. Chris Denton said, we all have met a guy just like this. Most of us decide to leave those people behind us. Yeah, he's immature. I mean, and it's unfortunate she didn't see that, before. Yeah. The mom's giving off some Donna Adelson vibes. His mother, VB Chick says his mother wants custody, not him. I'd agree with that. Wait, you're a lesbian? Thanks for stepping in when Rebecca's not here to ask me that question, y'all. I appreciate you. I am. I come out every day, guys. I come out every day. So, okay. I do have to get out of here because I have to record again in an hour and a half. So thank you all for being here. If you wouldn't mind, please, please, please go like, subscribe, comment, share this channel and this video so that we can get this algorithm moving again. And we will be back here at 9 a.m. tomorrow to sort of recap a little bit of this, but we're also going to be talking about the Afro Man trial that's going on. And there's a bunch of other stuff that's going on, just like gossipy kind of stuff that's happening with the Karen Reed case. I don't know if you all saw it, but Chris Albert made a big old statement at the select board meeting, and he was emotional and fired up, and who knows why he's doing this. But I think that there have been some like online rumors about Chris Albert lately, and maybe some things he's been sharing on his phone. And he seems like his voice is shaking a little bit while he's reading. So anyway, I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for being here. I will be back with Rebecca tomorrow, our regular scheduled time. And just a reminder, we are not going to be on Emily C's show tomorrow. It's probably going to be 2 weeks from now. Emily had a conflict with, I don't know, something. And so we had to reschedule, but we will be here at 9, probably for a couple of hours. I may try to do something on Friday. I'm not sure yet. But if not, I will see you back here on Monday to kick this trial off. And we missed the Higgy. What can I do? What can I do with Higgy? Oh Christ. What can I do with Higgy? I lost my whole desktop. I don't even know where it went. This is so crazy. Okay, let me see what I got over here. Okay, how about this? How about I do Higgy tomorrow? I really do have to jump off, you guys. And I have to take a minute to like think about it. I'll do Higgy tomorrow, I promise you. And if you miss it, TC Nerd, the next time I see you, I'll do it just for you. How about that? Okay. Love you all. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like the video. Thank you. Bye.